I'm Emma, and today I'm going to be talking to you about calculus. So to start off, what is calculus to be exact? There are three main types of calculus. There is limit calculus, there is differential calculus, and there's integral calculus. With limits, you're able to find what x value or y value a line may be heading towards while its opposite value is heading towards a certain number. Whether this number be a regular whole number, a small decimal, or even infinity or negative infinity. Differential calculus is more about finding rates of change or slopes or velocity, where integral calculus is more about finding specific areas or deriving formulas. So what are some big ideas of calculus? Well, there's two main big ideas that I'm going to talk about today, and one of them is finding an instantaneous rate of change, and one of them is finding very specific areas of unusual shapes. So let me go find some things to help us get started.
So right here I have a drawing up to show what instantaneous rate of change is. Let's say a boy walks a couple of blocks. Maybe he's going slow at first, then fast, then slow again, and with various speeds throughout the walk. And say, like, in the middle of the walk, you wanted to find out exactly how fast he's going, like at this point right here. Well, when you know how to find an instantaneous rate of change, that means that you'll be able to find the exact speed that the boy was going at any point throughout the walk. And that could mean either this point right here, or this point, or even this point. Let's take a look at another example of this. Here's a graph that I'm drawing with x and y planes to show that instantaneous rate of change can actually be determined on a graph at any given point, like these points right here. All you have to do is find the slope at any of these given points.
Now to demonstrate integral calculus, which is like finding the specific area of an unusual shape, I have an apple here. And so in calculus, you are able to find the area of some shapes kind of like this. Now you might think, it's an apple, it looks like a circle, couldn't you just use a sphere formula? And you could, but the thing is, you have to take into account that there's a bunch of little dents in the apple, and it's not a perfect circle, and so if you're going to try and find the exact area, you're not going to be able to use a sphere formula. Now, as much as I'd love to, during calculus, we don't really, find weird things like apples and start measuring them and finding out their area. That's not really what we use that for in calculus. So I'm going to show you an example of what we would use it for.
So here I'm making another graph, and that's to show how exactly we find specific areas of unique shapes. What we do in calculus is we actually mark an interval. So right here I'm marking 1 to 3, and between that interval we would figure out exactly how much area there is underneath the curve, and that can help you find other calculations that you might need.
So now for some recommendations on taking this course. The first thing I would say is to not procrastinate, and it's kind of obvious. I feel like as high school students we're told that a lot, and we say that a lot, and we know that that's a good thing to do. And I'm not going to say I never procrastinated in this class, because that's not true, and it's not really realistic. But there were some weeks where I was more on top of it, and I kind of followed the different goals that Mr. Martin had set out, and it's just so much more relieving whenever you're just on top of everything. So, the best you can do that, it really will benefit you. Another thing I'd say is to ask questions, and this is another thing that you're told a lot, but people don't really do it. But honestly, in this class, I watched a lot of videos to help me learn stuff, and they can be really helpful for learning independently and being able to work at my own pace. But the thing is, that can't really replace asking questions on some topics because they're too specific, or maybe you only need to know one small thing, or maybe there's a specific problem you need to go through. And so being able to ask questions can be really helpful. And Mr. Martin's nice, he's easy to talk to, so you don't ever have to worry about him judging you for asking a dumb question or something. Finally, something that I would recommend is to try and understand why you're learning the concepts you are in math. And sometimes it's hard to go out of your way to go and do that extra work, but I know, at least for me personally, whenever I understand why I'm calculating the things I am, it has a lot more significance, it makes me want to do it more, and overall it just gives me a better understanding of the concept, and I feel like that really helps me to be able to do better in the class. That's about all I had to say for today, so thanks for watching.